Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to DG Makes Math Easy, where we are intentional about making math dimensional. Today, we will be doing some questions from a worksheet, and it covers the distributive law in its basic sense and also in terms of multiplying two binomials. All right, what exactly do I mean? As you know, the distributive law deals with when we have questions, for example, set up like these: 4 times a sum, 4 times 2 plus 3. And generally, if you think of order of operations, you would go ahead and say, I work out what's in the bracket first, that's 5. And because this 4 is beside what's in a bracket, then that's multiplication. And you would have continued to work out 4 times 5 gives you 20. But the distributive law tells us that we can use this 4 as a distributor to what's inside the bracket. So 4 times 2 would have been 8, and 4 times 3 would have been 12, and it's definitely the sum of those two numbers. So that's basically what the distributive law looks at in, the most basic sense. But today we're looking at also how do we multiply binomials. And a binomial is an expression that has two terms. And we're looking at binomials in this form, let's say x plus 1 times x plus 2. All right, so that's what we'll be covering today. Let's see, and I hope that at the end of the video, you can go ahead, or by the middle of the video, you can go ahead and leave a comment to say whether or not this was beneficial for you. If you do find the content on this channel beneficial, go ahead and subscribe and share it as well so that your friends can also benefit. If there are other topics, basic math topics, that somehow you wonder why you can't get them, you can just go ahead and put that topic in the chat. You can request a video for same. All right, who can you share these videos with? Let's say grade 8 upwards. All right, some persons in grade 8 would cover these things, and anyone up to CSEC level and anybody older than that. All right, so we are gonna hit the road. All right, so the first question said expand and simplify x plus 8 times x minus 4. And the distributive law, when we're multiplying two binomials, it works like this. You multiply every term in this first bracket by every term in the second bracket. All right, so here we go. And I'm going to just use some arrows to kind of guide us. All right, so we're multiplying x times x, that gives us x squared. X times negative 4 would give us negative 4x. All right, and then we're also going to use this positive 8 here to multiply by every term in the second bracket. So let's go. 8 times x gives us 8x, and 8 times negative 4 gives us negative 32. Now the question said expand and simplify. And so in simplifying, we're going to look for terms that are alike, terms that are like terms. And in that case, we would have negative 4x here and positive 8x here. Those are like terms. All right, so x squared does not have another term that is like it. So we keep it by itself. We keep our constant here at the end. That's good. And then we are now going to work on simplifying those two middle terms. All right, so it's going to be negative 4x plus 8x, and that will give us positive 4x. So our answer reads x squared plus 4x minus 32. You can always pause the video to try the question before I work it, and you can always pause the video to mark your answers at the end. All right, here we go. 2p times 1, we are expanding and simplifying. That's going to be 2p. 2p times p, that's going to be 2p squared. And you have no worries when all the terms are positive, because you know that all the terms in your answer are also going to be positive. All right, and just making use of 4 different colors here. this other term that's in that first bracket, we're going to use it to multiply every term in the second bracket. 3 times 1, that is going to be 3, not 4. The persons who I have seen do this worksheet, some of you had 4 there. All right, and 3 times p is going to be 3p, and of course, as we said, that's going to be positive. All right, and we want to order our answer. So we want to ensure that our terms that are of the highest order are at the front. So we have 2p squared. We're going to put that first. Then we're going to put 2p and 3p together because they're like terms. So positive 2p. So we write plus 2p plus 3p, and we keep our constant at the end. All right, this is how this is the form in which the answer is generally acceptable. All right, and you want to get all your marks. So here we go now, 2p squared, and we're adding 2p and 3p here, which gives us 5p plus 3. And that's it. If that's what you got when you work it yourself, then you are on good road. X squared times 5x will give us 5x squared. X squared times 1 will give, 5x cubed, my bad. All right, and then x squared times 1 will give us x squared. 1x squared or x squared, right? The 1 does not have to be there. 3 times 5x will give us 15x, and 3 times 1 will give us 3, which is a positive 3. All right, and are there any like terms? No, ma'am. So we move right along to our next question, because this cannot be simplified any further, so it is complete. All right, z minus 7 all squared, and we say all squared because we are squaring all that's in the bracket. Are we squaring them individually? Nope, but we are squaring z minus 7. When we square something, we are multiplying it by itself. So it means we are multiplying z minus 7 by z minus 7. There is a shortcut to this, and for those of you who know the shortcut, bravo. But we are going to go ahead and take the long road. Here we go. Z times z will be z squared. Z times negative 7, please watch the sign, is going to be negative 7z. Negative 7 times z will be negative 7z again. And negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49. All right, can we simplify? Yes, we can. These two work out to negative 14z, and so our answer is z squared minus 14z plus 49. All right, we're coming down. Here we go. Be careful. Ensure that you do not mistake this 13c to mean that it is being multiplied by what's in the bracket. No, if it were being multiplied by what's in the bracket, it would look like this. So please, all right, blah, 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 blah. But please ensure that we do not make that mistake. So this is 13c plus whatever this works out to be. I'm going to put it in a different ink. All right, let's go. 4c times 5c is going to be 20c squared. 4c times 3 will be definitely positive 12c. 2 times 5c will be 10c. And 2 times 3 will, of course, give us 6, not 5, as some of you wrote. All right, and then we are just going to put our terms in order. So we have 20c squared. We can put all our like terms together. That's 13c, 12c, 10c. All right, so that's plus 13c plus 12c plus 10c plus 6. And then we can give our final simplified answer, 20c squared plus, and then you're going to go ahead and add all these terms here, and you will get 35c plus 6. Let's go. All right, and we are getting into a bit of worded questions a little down the road. So here we are again, we have brackets, being used. Some are related, 2 of them are related, 1 is unrelated to the rest. This one has nothing to do with the other brackets. All right, so just making that clear because of some constant mistakes that I see that y'all are making. All right, 6y times y will give us 6y squared. 6y times -7 will give us -42y. -4 times y will give us -4y. -4 times 7 times -7 will be +28. And we continue the expression using the answers that we get from this section here. All right, so that's 2 times y is going to be 2y. That's definitely positive. And 2 times 5 is going to be 10. All right, feel free to go over that step again. All right, but right now we are going to order our terms. So we have 6y squared minus 42y minus 4y plus 2y, putting all our like terms together, plus 28 plus 10, constants at the end. And so we're going to go now to work out these 3 here. And if you want to break it up and do the first 2, -42y minus 4y, which would give -46y plus 2y. You can go ahead and do that first and then work out the final answer at the end. But if you're able to do all 3 at once, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to leave this on the screen, and then we will do the additional step. All right, 6y squared, and this will now give us -44y. 28 plus 10 will give us 38. So our answer reads 6y squared minus 44y plus 38. And if you got that, big up yourself. And here we go. One of the surfaces of a piece of plywood is x meters wide and 3x meters long. Write an expression for the area of the surface. So we have a width and we have a length. All right, and here asked to write an expression for the area of the surface of a plywood. You're given length and width. So you can assume the question would usually, the question can say that it is rectangular or so. So you can assume because you got the length and the width, all right? But we know that to find area, we are going to multiply the length by the width. And so that is going to be 3x times x, and that answer is not 4x, but 3x squared. All right. Even if you're not asked to simplify, practice simplifying. All right. So while this is correct, that is an expression for the area of the surface. This is a more simplified and final answer. All right. And it says for construction purposes, the length, this is a part B to the first question. The length is increased by 5 meters and the width is decreased by 4 meters. So the length is increased by 5. So whatever the length was before, we're gonna add 5 to that. So you make sense of the question in your head and then put it down on the paper. All right, so the length was 3x. So now our new length is 3x plus 5, and that's definitely in meters. All right, what's the new width? It is decreased by 4. So whatever it was before, we're going to subtract 4 from it. All right, so that is going to be x minus 4, and that's in meters. All right, now we're asked to write an expression for the perimeter of the surface, and we should also simplify the expression. How do we find perimeter? That's going to be, let's get a visual. So the length, 3x plus 5, and the width, x minus 4. All right, so we now have our perimeter to be the sum of all 4 sides, all right, of sum of the lengths of all 4 sides of this surface. So bear in mind that this side also measures 3x plus 5 meters. this side x minus 4 meters. All right, so now our parameter is going to be one side plus the other. You can put the other length, same place. All right, some persons like to write both lengths first. All right, and then you write the width. All right, and after that, you can go ahead and just simplify. So now you can put all your like terms together if once it makes you comfortable and more confident to do that. That is the case with some persons. All right, so we can put all our x terms together and all our constants after. So that's positive 5 here again, negative 4 here, negative 4 here. All right, so you can always go ahead and simplify, even if the expression doesn't, even if the question doesn't require you to simplify. If you simplify, you will not lose any marks. So praise the Lord. All right, so now we have our final answer to be 8x. All right, 8x plus 2. All right, and that's in meters. Good. And for the area of the surface, I think I'm going to leave, I'm wondering if I want to leave this part for your homework. All right, so the area of this surface is going to be the length times the width. And clearly, this cannot be referring to part A of the question. We are now at part B. And this is where some persons made a mistake. All right, so here we go. The new length is 3x plus 5. And the new width is x minus 4. And of course, you're going to ensure that you expand before you are able to simplify. All right, let me see if I have enough space here. All right, you're gonna go ahead and do it yourself, but I will provide you with the final answer. All right, maybe I have space. So here we go. 3x squared minus 12x plus 5x minus 20. And so our final answer will be 3x squared minus 5x when you combine these two, minus 7x. I wrote back the 5, all right, minus 20. All right, and that will be your final answer. All right, so I hope that you are able to better grasp this topic if it is that you had any issues with it before, or you're already comfortable and now you're more comfortable. All right, let me know in the comments. All right, until next time, if you are not yet a subscriber but you'd like to stay here, go ahead and subscribe to DG Makes Math Easy. We're intentional about making math dimensional, and I will see you next time.